Napoleon Hill once said, "Every adversity, every failure, every heartache carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit." And we couldn't agree more. This is Lift Me Up. We're here to have candid conversations about something we all face, trials and heartache. We're here to explore the positives that emerge from these things. We have a blast. Remember, no matter how tough things may seem, there's always a way to rise above. This is Lift Me Up.
Welcome back to Lift Me Up. Your hosts, Mike, Megan, Nate, and Cammie. We're happy to have you.
You sound like your
Oh,
that was like a
like the nighttime
it's
radio.
like an ASMR.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
Yeah.
hey everybody, click, 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 click. These are my nails.
no, don't do that.
You may notice that we are a little bit different today.
We are.
Yep.
I've lost weight.
Wow.
Just kidding.
I've gained weight.
Yeah.
No, like you two are wearing hats. We are not wearing hats.
Yes.
You guys actually kind of match. We kind of match, sort of.
Oh,
No, not at all.
I was
Oh.
dressed first.
Neutrals. The other thing is we have no headphones this time.
Yeah.
We have switched it up, as in case everybody doesn't know, but switched it up, and we are now, a
Why
little different.
headphones a highlight?
I don't know. It's just
Nate
like
decided to make
I
it a
don't-
point.
making a thing. I mean, we have them, but we're just not using them. So anyway, not that anybody really cares. However, it's wonderful to be back. We have, for those of you that I've received text messages from people saying, "I'm catching up. Where have you guys been?" So we had some craziness kind of happen. And the last time we recorded, you two were getting ready to go on a cruise.
Yep.
And then you didn't go on a cruise.
We didn't.
And then
we
you
did.
went on a cruise.
Then we did.
And then you did. So I don't know. Anyway, it was crazy. And as a result of that, it kind of threw everything off kilter. And we missed an entire week. And now we're kind of thrown back in.
And then we missed the whole other entire week.
Yeah, so
it's
it's been like a
month.
It's been like a month,
So
unfortunately.
life happened. Yeah.
Sorry.
I mean,
What? Life?
life just
No.
happened
Life
because
is awesome.
it was difficult to get us all together. Nate was out of town. We were out of town. Cammie wasn't feeling good. We just want to make sure that
We do something.
we're all here as much as possible. But
We're all present. Present.
yes.
Anyway, as we always do, we started off with the Lift Me Up. So you two said that you've got one. So why don't you guys start? Megan, you want to start? I'm excited for
No,
Megan.
I'll let you. I'm excited to hear yours.
Mine is the cruise.
Oh, gosh.
So
Yeah, you better go first so that I
Get
don't
it
use
out of the
it.
way.
we left for our cruise and we're delayed getting out of Idaho because of weather in Denver. Finally got into Denver, missed our connector, rescheduled, and then
The next morning,
next
the
morning.
weather was beautiful. We were like, we're going on a cruise.
and
Right as we got to our gate.
Florida's air traffic control wasn't letting any of the Florida flights in.
Yeah, they were moving things around. So it pushed it back like 3-4 hours,
Whoops.
then made us miss our boat.
But we're all on vacation. And
So we got home Sunday.
the Sunday afternoon and booked another cruise Monday.
Yes. For the next week. So
That same week. So we got home Sunday afternoon and left for another vacation
that Friday.
Thursday.
I was so surprised.
Yeah, Thursday night.
I went, what?
It probably wasn't financially the smartest thing
No, not
but
at
then
all.
any of us have ever done. But it was a great time.
Yeah, it's one of those life things that you kind of just are like, oh, you know what? Knee-jerk reaction, just do it.
Just do it anyway.
And while we were there, the best thing, it was so awesome. But when you come back and look at the credit card statement, you're like, oof, maybe I should have done that. But you know what? I'm glad we did it. It was a fun time. We needed a good break. We haven't been on a good vacation in a while, so
It's been 6 years since you and I have
That's a while.
Yeah.
which was the last
Wow.
cruise.
Which was the
Well,
last
we
week.
went to Vegas
You-
on a weekend thing.
You had an opportunity to go to Hawaii with us, but you screwed that one up.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
dope.
Mike
That was in
well,
between.
couldn't pass
Yeah,
his COVID test.
Man, we were worried about you not passing, and then he ended up not passing.
yeah, and I didn't have any symptoms. Stupid. And then 3 months later, they changed the rules and they don't
yeah,
require
no, they
that to
don't
go
re-
in.
they
That
didn't
was so
require
bad.
it.
That made me
So,
mad.
Yeah,
But
but
anyway,
we had
so-
a good time.
Yeah.
So that was good.
It was fun. But yeah, so that was good. It was good.
Yeah, it was so fun.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I had
that's
a lot
super
of
cool.
drank a lot of
Yeah,
pina
you drank.
coladas and
Yeah, we all
non-alcoholic, of course.
came home a little heavier on the scale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think I come home, I wake up every day and I'm like, the earth tilts a little more
Oh, geez.
because I wake up every morning. I'm like, oh,
So it doesn't help when you're in bed.
Sleeping?
no.
No, he's
Only
evenly.
when I'm
He's evenly
I'm
distributed
evenly
when he's laying
distributed.
down.
when I'm standing, I'm
You're upright.
pushing down on Earth's surface at a different level.
I think your scientific son would have a lot to say about that assessment.
Most likely.
Like, Dad.
Most likely. Anyway,
Yeah.
Mike, what was yours?
Mine is I've been able to participate in so I'm coaching Nixon, helping coach actually. So I'm not the head coach, but I'm helping coach Nixon's little league team this year, minors. So it's kid pitch, first year kid pitch. And the coach that I wanted him to make the team on, so it's a draft. So it was all up in the air whether or not he was going to make it. But I told him if we could pick Nixon, I'll help you coach. And it worked out. We did get him on the
That's cool.
team, but the coach was gone that whole week, so I had to go help at tryouts.
Oh,
I've never been on that side of the tryout, so of course I know baseball. I love baseball, so I just looked at the fundamentals, and he's like, I scale it 1 through 3. Occasionally, I'll put like a 3 or like a 2+ or a 2- or vice versa. And I was like, okay, so I gave it to him afterwards, and I was like, there's a lot more pluses and negatives on there because I didn't know what direction to take this kid. And but it was cool. So I went to draft night with him and everything too. And we were very, very first pick. And so it was pretty easy to pick Nixon. So we
That's
picked Nixon.
awesome.
And,
first pick in the draft.
yeah, he was first pick.
Wow.
First
Wow.
round, first
Yeah.
pick. So,
That's huge.
but no, it was cool. We did practice inside, of course, the other night. And it'll be fun. So
It's exciting.
yeah, never been on the coaching side. And I mean, I have, but at this level, I feel like it's different. Like, cause you actually have to get them some skill. I feel like
Yeah.
rather than just like teach them a little bit, but make sure they're having fun at the same time. This one, I'm still doing that, but I'm trying to teach a little more than
Little league, not little league.
right.
It's
Well, no, it's
League.
yeah. Anyway, this
Not
is where
little league, but
Little-
league.
this will be where a lot of them really develop. I feel like, and so it's like,
They learn to either love it or they're like, I'm
am
good.
I?
Don't need to play next.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing I'm worried about is, am I cut out for that as a coach? Like, coaching's different. Just because you know how to play the game doesn't mean you're a good coach.
Yeah.
So
And
I'm excited for it.
Some people are better coaches than actual players.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
So,
true.
Maybe that'll be me.
Who knows? At least you're wearing the St. Louis hat
Like it-
today.
Yeah.
You
So
have
anyway,
a-
that was mine. I'm really excited for this season. So
That's cool.
be good.
What about you?
Mine's more of a silver lining
Okay.
thing. So, our daughter got a nasty gram left on her car the other day because she had parked in a handicap parking spot, and the person accused her of not needing to park there and was like, "Please park."
With her handicap sticker on.
No, she forgot to put it on.
It up. So there is like,
Oh.
and I didn't know that at the time. So at the time when I was going through all the feelings, she's she had sent a picture of the note, and that woke the mama bear up. And I was like, what the heck? Who's doing that? But as I was mulling it over, I went, you know what? I'm really, really grateful that chronic illness has taught me to have more compassion, because I know that when I get weird looks when I get out in a handicap parking spot. And I'm just really grateful that it's taught me to not judge the exterior, and that, if someone parks there, it's because they need to.
Yeah.
And I am not at all going to attempt to be the handicap parking police, and I have no right to. And so I don't know. That's kind of just what I was mulling over. I'm grateful for the compassion that I've learned to have, and to not judge people based on their appearance in that regard. So
that's cool.
I don't know.
That's a good way to look at it. Sure.
I like that.
Oh, thanks.
Because, yeah, Mama Bear, like, full on claw.
Next time I was
She's like, ah.
like, was that at your apartment complex? And she was like, yes, Mom. I'm like, okay, so
I'm
It's
coming.
on.
What's interesting is that the apartment complex is just a bunch of college age,
yeah, it's
like,
I mean,
married
yeah.
students. So it's like,
Married,
what
20-year-old, you know.
Yeah, what do they have? Anything? Yeah, I mean,
it's but it does
maybe
go to
their
her
grandma
point,
was
right?
coming
It
over
goes to
that
her
day or
point.
something.
Like, you don't know what somebody's dealing with,
Yeah.
and the outer doesn't always.
Well, and
You don't know how somebody struggles with the physical capability just because they look like they're okay. They're probably hiding it as they're walking into their apartment, right?
yeah.
You know.
Well, and the thing that Janie struggled with for her whole life is, you're not old enough to have back pain. You're not old enough to have this. You're not old enough. And she's like, but I am, because I do have, and so when she takes it really, it's hard.
Yeah,
Because she was young.
that's true.
Anyway, it's yours.
Mine is somebody lifting me up.
Well, there you go.
Oh,
That's good.
So at work, Cammy's heard me say this a lot. It's been kind of crazy. Like, we're kind of on the clock on a particular account, and we're just really pushing at all of our locations to really just focus. And there's just a lot of pressure attached to that. It's a big account, and, performance obviously dictates whether or not you keep something, right?
Right.
And so there's just kind of been this constant, what are you doing, and what has been done for everybody to stick around. And that tends to, when the team, because I can't physically go do all of it myself. I have to rely upon passing the message and putting the information out there to make sure that everybody is doing the job and has all the information to execute it. And when we don't perform well, I take a lot of that and I internalize it. I have a tendency to do that. I take it very personally. Like, what am I doing? Am I failing by not having this one thing happen? So it just tends to, I internalize it, and then it kind of wears just on my mind. And yesterday had one of the leaders at our company say to me, he goes, hey, I was finishing up something I was doing. He goes, hey, call me. I want to talk to you about a few things. I was like, oh, okay. Like, I'm thinking, oh boy, what did I do? Like, what's happening? Like, where's the coaching coming from? Like, what's happening? And I said, yeah, no problem. I went and finished up what I was taking care of. I'm walking back to my office, and I see him, and he goes, oh, are you done? So he goes, let's go in my office.
Shut that door behind you.
Like, it's even better.
Come in, and he sits down, and he looks at me, and he goes, how you doing? That's all he said. I said, I'm good. And he goes, how's your family? Well, that can be a bit of a dumpster fire sometimes. but we've been dealing with this for a long time, and I think we're doing good. He goes, I just miss talking to you.
Well,
Oh,
That was it.
that's
Wow.
sweet.
And I was like, oh, like, awesome. Like, there was nothing else to it. That was it.
yeah.
And we talked about basketball. We talked about BYU basketball that was playing that night. And then he goes, all right, well, have a great weekend.
Yeah.
Like it's interesting at how we need,
Me too. All emotional.
no, I'm not emotional.
Oh, you look like.
I'm
He
trying not
just
to
squirted
cough.
something
I'm
into
trying
his
not to
eyes.
cough.
Sorry.
And if you know anything about me right now, when I don't cough, this eye starts watering.
They both are.
Oh,
No,
Anyway.
it's really this one.
come on, just
Anyway.
admit it.
Anyway, it's just really cool how something like that
Yeah.
can hit you. You didn't know you needed it.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, all right, I can do more of that.
Nice to get a little
So
again.
I
anyway,
think something that actually kind of goes into kind of a talk or a conversation we had about like a subject matter is I find, and this is specific to the workplace, but with your story, and then I've thought of some examples as well, but like being united in what you guys are doing, and that's a huge level of that is a personal level, especially in the workplace. In like that case, like something I've noticed in where I work is every week we have our what we call our level 10, and it's
L10.
L10s. Yep. And we do what we call a segue, and you give one highlight work related and one highlight personal related. And it's like, no one needs to know what you're going on in your personal life, but they take that extra step to make sure that we all care for each other and that we can ask each other how we're doing or how did that go last week with your, things that make you excited outside of just work. And I think that's to create a sense of unity and like camaraderie and all that kind of stuff. It's huge part of it. Huge part of it. Because it makes you happier because you know that somebody else cares. And it also makes it easier for you to have those kind of conversations with other people too. And
True.
That's interesting. Like you think about like a family unit, and I've heard this referenced before. I don't remember where, but like somebody saying to the effect of a family unit can be run like a business, where you make people feel you hold people accountable, but you make them feel loved. And that's kind of what you do with your kids, right? Like you try to
Someone train them up.
Cammy this morning, was it this morning? I don't remember what she said, but I said something like about doing something, and she goes, well, because I'm the boss. Remember, like, what was that?
I told you need to make a doctor appointment.
Oh, that's right.
To go, and he's like, no, I don't want to. And I said, well, then I'll set the appointment for you. And he goes, well, why do you think I mean, you can set the appointment. That doesn't mean I'm going to go. And I said, yeah, you will. And he goes, why? And I said, because I'm the boss. I did it. You're going.
But it's like, but the family unit, like, you think about the operation of how that works, and you've got the CEO and you've got the CFO, right?
Yeah.
And
I'm
and then
both of those.
you've got all the minions.
CEO and CFO.
I was too for a long time.
And then I took over as the CFO.
Yeah.
And I think she likes that.
It is kind of nice, yeah.
Anyway, but Bane's like, oh, really?
I'll do.
We can provide some training.
I gotta say, and I've said it on here before, I love it. I actually really like it.
He geeks out, though.
Because I don't know, there's just like this level of, I don't know, there's this comfort level. I think it actually shifted our mindset as a couple.
Totally.
No. I'll pull into this.
Unity, Megan. Unity.
It shifts the mindset as a couple because, typically the husband is a lot of times just the one that's like, go make money, like the mold of what societal thinks, right? And And I never looked in our bank account. I hated talking about like bills. I hated
I
it.
wanted to talk about.
She's like, we need to talk about our budget. And I'm like, what budget?
I always took it like a personal attack. Like if something wasn't quite right, or if something was, needed to be altered or fixed, and he was like, well, I'm making as much money as I can. I'm doing it. And I was like, this is not
It's
about
true. Like,
paycheck, dude.
it is true. Like, I think that as a guy, like
I've had
that's what
those
you
same
gravitate
conversations.
towards. So, but the shift,
You finally realized it wasn't about that. It was about
how do we,
our relationship with the money that you bring in.
I know what's funny is I saw a meme the other day. Is that, you always see these ones of girl math,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
and it's like, oh no, I got a refund, so it's free. So
Yeah.
now I get to go spend that because we already spent it, so it's free, right?
Absolutely.
But it was the man math, and it was rather than budget and cut out things, they find ways to make more money to accommodate the things that they
That's
want
true.
to do, that their current lifestyle.
I'll go
That's
donate
100.
plasma so I can take care of this.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
there's some things I don't like doing.
Yeah.
Anyway, no, I agree. It's funny. It's just
Anyway, but I think that like you look at the combination of a family unit and creating the unity between a family and what that means. I read an article not too long ago that talked specifically about. Did you know that in a study was done in 2022 that 30% of the kids I want to say it was under the age of 13 are being diagnosed with a mental illness.
That's a lot.
30%.
Yeah, that's a huge number.
And now there might be that we have more information as to what that means. There might be, but now mental illness being depression, like it obviously comes into a lot of different things.
That's the thing, is anxiety falls into that. And
Which if you look at how what the dynamic and like that power of what unity does for people, or what it does in general, there's something to be said about a family unit, or and I use family as it can be anything. It can be something that you gravitate towards, that you seek information from, that you seek support, family, like whatever. Your chosen family. There's something to be said about being able to decrease that number by making people feel like they're important. And I don't think people feel important enough anymore. I really do. I think people feel like that they're just told that they're another person. And I don't know if people go to the extent of making people feel important. I don't know.
I mean, something that comes to my mind is with becoming, united with someone, work, family, is something that popped in my mind, was just an outlet for somebody. It gives somebody a direction of an outlet to try and get that feeling, I guess, of more than just a number, or more than just a void in space. I guess I think there are a lot of people, I think, that don't feel that. They don't have any sort of connection with anybody. And that some of it could be their own fault, and other times it could just be that, we get in a groove, I guess. And
I do feel like there is a point. So there are tons of studies on the impact of socializing on your mental health. So obviously that comes into play, and it's really important. But I do feel like on an individual basis, we need to understand our worth and our importance, and you need to be at this level in order for the social aspect to bring you to like a max level. Because if you're individually not thinking that you're, if you have no self-worth or whatever, then you can do all the socializing and get all of the interaction, and still it just won't be enough. You have to have that inner, What?
I said, ooh,
Oh, I thought you
like,
provided a word for me. 'cause
resignated.
It just hit.
What resonated, Megan? What about that?
Well, that it wouldn't ever be enough.
We're now in
You
therapy.
can get
Yeah.
all the social interaction you need, but it'll never be enough.
Mhm.
We naturally feast for something.
That did connect with me and you.
Yeah.
You gotta,
There's been times, I mean, well, I don't know. I feel like this is going in so many different directions here.
Yeah.
It
Just
can.
because.
That's the problem. Well, that's not the problem. That's the good thing, is that it creates a dialogue that is.
Yeah, because initially, like,
deep.
my
It can
thought
be
was
deep.
like, oh,
We're
hey,
so routine down here.
yeah, like being united with somebody can take a lot of work, really.
Yeah.
It is a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's an incredible amount of work. I mean, it doesn't just. I mean, nothing just happens, right? Like everything takes work, everything takes effort. But a lot of times it's like there's an increased level of, you know what? The word I would look at is intention.
Well,
you have to be intentional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In everything.
In everything that you do.
Right.
If you just operate passively and you're just a straw man body and you're just like hanging around,
There's no happiness.
there's no happiness at all. You have no you feel like you have no purpose. Even though what you feel is no purpose, to somebody else that cares for you, they see it entirely different, right?
Yeah.
It's always through somebody else's eyes. But it's also what we do to make the intentional effort to make other people feel important.
Yeah.
And gosh, I cannot.
Yeah, but again, I caution the word of me, like the
help people.
Yeah, because you can't. You can make someone feel important for a short amount.
Yeah, very short.
Yeah.
But as soon as you leave,
That's
or as soon as you're done having that conversation or being in their presence, then that's gone. Then they go back to the inner loathing or the whatever, because they now need you around in order to feel good about themselves.
Outside validation.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, I think, in our society these days need outside validation, online validation, external.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I also kind of wonder, is that because your families or chosen families aren't providing enough? Is there too much distraction at home? Or too much, what's the word? Sorry, I so brain foggy from, self being.
I don't know what you're going at.
Self-centered,
yes.
like
selfish,
self-absorbed.
Yeah, like you're focusing more on yourself when you're at home than on the people around you. Because I do feel like family unity is suffering a little bit. And I think that the main reason is we are online. Sometimes we're online, sometimes we're on social media seeking outside validation when we should be getting it from our families.
Yeah.
Parents should be providing that. Siblings should be, saying, oh, I think you're awesome, instead of you're such a nerd and I hate your guts and don't say hi to me in the hallway at school.
Yeah.
I mean, does that happen? Yeah. All of our kids have done that. But at home, it should be different.
Right.
We actually had a good experience this week. Well, yesterday, where what's funny is, I pick up the boys from school. How was school? Great. Of course they just got out, so they're stoked, right?
Yeah.
But then we get home and things start to melt. And Nixon finally was just, I just had a hard day. He's like, why does it have to get worse here? Like, it's not what he said exactly, but more or less.
That was a message.
He was grounded. They were grounded yesterday.
He got grounded
from friends.
For some things. Yeah. And he was mad that he was grounded. And so then he's like, what? I already had a hard day today. Why am I still grounded? He was trying to find a way to get out of it. And I had to explain to him that, you know, you have to own when you know, the consequence. The consequence is there whether or not, there's just not always a way out around it. So you just have to deal with it. And legitimately, it was more or less like you're grounded and you just got home from school at like 3:00 and you can be grounded because you're going to come inside for dinner at like 5:30. So you're literally only technically grounded for 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
And
but the neighborhood kids were out
outside and playing and things like that. Anyway,
Makes it hard.
so both Megan and I actually at different times had a conversation like, why was today so hard? And it was exactly that. Kids at school that were friends were saying things that, oh, you don't even like me anymore. Like, I don't even, you know, all this kind of stuff. And it bothered Nixon. And so we just had to have that conversation of, and I hope that it was a safe place for him, obviously, to have that conversation at home. But to just be like, look, dude, like, you can't always control how they're going to be. If you're going to choose to be a good person and be kind and friendly to everyone around you, those friends are going to come. And if those other people are going to continue to say things that are not true about you, then just let it go. Like, they'll come around if they want to be around you. They're going to realize how much they enjoyed being around you. Just be the same person every day.
Yeah.
That's what I said. I don't know fully what Megan's conversation was with Nixon because it was a different time and I wasn't there, but
it was private.
But
It's a secret.
but it was just that kind of that same conversation, and hopefully, you know, home life is that place for him.
Yeah.
What was it? I was talking with Ian the other day, and a good friend of mine, and Nixon had just gotten a perm on his hair.
yeah
So handsome.
And
so cute
and my friend Ian had said, he's like, it's crazy because he's got a daughter that's like inside of a year older than Nixon. They're both really good friends, but she's getting to the point where she's starting to like think about the way she looks as well. And
He's a grade older than
Nixon has always been very particular with his clothes and certain things of how he looks.
Yeah.
And he's just like, it's just crazy how they're getting older. And I was like, yeah. I was like, I'm kind of excited for it, partly for myself in the sense of having these real conversations with him. Because as a kid, it's a little harder because you don't really understand. Like, Miles is a little harder to have these conversations because majority of the time he's letting you talk and he's not listening.
Yeah.
Also just his personality.
It is
Yeah,
his
it's all
personality.
his
Like,
personality.
I'm looking forward to having those more like
Something more
buddy
meaningful.
conversations. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
talking about interests and talking about, oh, that's cool. And like, and then also having those other conversations of like, this is how you live life and this is how you should do it. Like, just helping them through those things and actually having it sink in. I'm looking forward to, because yelling at kids is not my favorite. It drives me nuts.
See, and I was like the opposite. I was like sitting there listening to him being like, we just need to move to the country off grid.
Oh, geez.
We're just not going to I'm not dealing with this. Other people
I
are being
had that
mean.
thought
We're
too.
just done. We're done. I'll homeschool you. You can just live a great life out in the country.
We've got the homeschooler right now. He's thriving.
I don't know. I think it'll be, well, I am the one who had the birds and the bees conversation with him. Megan's in the corner.
You already did?
Megan's in the corner laughing, and I
Precursor.
was the one having to have a serious conversation.
I just was so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You know what?
That's
It's okay
why-
because I did the girl, he does the boys.
Well, that's how I was like,
So I've done
And
the
that's
boys.
fine.
I've had the talks with the boys
No,
already.
that's fine. I'm just saying that, you
I
know.
went to the maturation video, the maturation
Oh,
day.
yeah. The
with Owen.
sixth grade,
And,
whatever.
and
you know, it would have been nice for Owen to move to homeschool before that happened, but whatever.
Hey, you gotta have it done at some point.
So I remember going to that with him and sitting there, and he's just like, I mean, he's just sitting there like this, you know, just looking at the screen, and I'm just like, yeah, whatever, you know, yeah. But you've got this, the level of immaturity that tends to witness itself because people get uncomfortable, right? They don't want to. They think it's funny, and there's a lot of kids that got kicked out of it
Oh,
because, you know, they were just being disrespectful and rude, and, you know, they were immature. They just couldn't handle a mature conversation.
Yeah.
And thankfully, Owen is not like that at all. He's very mature. And he's still just 11, right? But he's Cammy and Janie and Owen went down to Utah last weekend, and Owen was defending a conversation about Jupiter being a planet,
A failed
star.
He said, no, that's incorrect, and started to lecture Jamie on it. And then I was like, okay, let's let Google decide. So he Googled it, and
he was right.
Yeah.
Said.
So it's like, it's just funny how you do get to these points of conversation. Like, Alex and I, we don't talk a ton. Like, he's a mama's boy. So he will go to mom and he'll talk to mom. But, you know, like
he also
right
is just
now,
like to himself in general.
he's also
though.
very internal. Yeah.
Yeah, he only opens his mouth when he has something to say, and he's not
Yeah, he just doesn't look for that.
internalized.
But right now we've got NFL free agency going on. So, I mean, right now is like, man, Alex and I are like texting every day.
Dad
Like, dude, did you see this? Did you see that? What do you think of this? And then he just launches into it. Like, I think we need to do this, and I think we need to do that. Like, he launches into like he's like an armchair, not a quarterback, but a GM, and he's like sorting out what the team should do. Right? Go Chargers. So it's super fun to have that kind of conversation and interaction.
Yeah.
But I don't have anybody to do that except for you and her, I guess, to a degree, of baseball. Like, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like...
Although I don't nerd out on the players and stats,
Yeah.
I just enjoy it I just love the game.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Anyway, so it's like little stuff. Like, you look for those conversations. None of my kids did sports.
Yeah.
So I never had that.
That's a lie.
Oh, come on.
Alex did
All right.
shot put.
That's for a minute.
Did sports for a hot minute, and that was about it. It
And
was
Alex
a blink.
said-
It was a blink, and we were done.
It didn't stick.
Anyway, back to
We look for that
Yeah.
opportunity to
you
connect.
took it all right. No, it's
You
okay.
look-
Oh, he
No, it's good.
bringing it back.
The connections, the
No, I agree.
unification, the opportunity to bring that all in with
Yeah.
your family unit is, I mean, that's what we seek. That's what we look for, right?
100%.
Yeah.
I agree. The only other thing I was going to say is to add to what the conversation is just like Megan and I talked afterwards of kind of what we said to him, and you know, maybe we're a little bit more united than we thought, you know, in how we would have taken that and treated our child, you know. But I just feel like, I don't know, it was rewarding in the sense to me that, you know, we were on the same page for the most part. Like, why are you looking like that?
I'm just really confused. What do you mean we wouldn't be united on that?
No, not united in the
separate
subject,
conversations,
separate conversations,
same
but a lot of
message.
the same message
Gotcha.
is what I'm talking about. She obviously doesn't agree, but
I mean, I just other than like, what else would you say? Like, you should stand up, be rude back.
no,
Like,
I just never mind.
Yes.
Anyway, parent unity.
Appreciate it, Mike.
Parent unity was what I was trying to get at, but as we were bickering before we even started.
And it wasn't bickering.
I know. You were just yelling at me. That's true. Just kidding.
I
Anyway,
love it. Yeah, see, guys, this,
Yeah.
we have a relationship of banter and laughter, huh, Meg?
banter and laughter.
So do
sleep
we.
every night laughing.
He's like, I'm still in this.
Like an
I-
insane laugh.
I had a guy. I heard a guy tell a joke of like, and this is, I actually kind of am curious about this.
On topic.
No,
Okay.
if somebody's blind and has been blind all their life, and they have a dream,
Oh dear.
how do they visualize the dream? You know what I mean? Like,
You're an idiot.
I mean, honestly,
in their own way.
They make up just
Is
like
it
when
is
they
it an
fill your
audio
face.
dream? Like, is it an audio dream?
No, like
Oh my gosh.
they by touch, their senses.
This is the
You
sex.
make up your own, so it's probably
Like,
not
how
like
do you,
yours,
if you're
but-
blind, if you've been blind and you've never seen anything, and you have a dream, and I'm like, Megan, I had this dream last night, and I mean, I don't know how to
And you were
describe it.
walking down the beach, and it's
Yeah,
like,
it's like,
how
I
do
don't
you-
know what a beach is like. I don't know. It's a texture, it's a feel, it's a sound, right?
Yeah.
But
But
it
they
has to be an audio and
it still
feel.
paints a picture in their brain, I would
Anyway,
imagine.
I
You're
don't know.
ridiculous.
I am ridiculous.
See this section
But
in the
I genuinely want to know, and this is in complete respect. Like, I genuinely am curious how what that is like for somebody that experiences loss of sight.
I don't think we'll know that.
find a guest
Ever.
and we'll bring him on.
I'm going to find
Yeah.
looking for a blind guest. If
Oh,
you
jeez.
would like to be on, like that.
All right.
All in
Me.
good. I was going to say good
Phone
fun,
number
but it's not
is
fun. It's
Not it.
8675.
309.
Anyway,
A deviation of that. So
75309.
yeah.
Yeah.
Jesse's mom too.
Yes.
Okay. Please go.
What?
Last
Smart.
night, Megan started to sing a song,
Don't
That's-
sing it because I don't.
and it
What
was in
song?
my head
Everyone was.
for the rest of the night.
Don't sing
Don't
it
sing
again
it.
because I
Don't
don't
sing it.
remember what it
I
was.
no, I won't. In fact, I think I forgot what it
Yeah,
was.
me too.
Thankfully,
Thankfully.
because it took forever to empty my brain as to what that
The
was.
minute
But
you left, I didn't think about it ever again.
Yeah, it didn't come back.
it
Honestly,
didn't
I
come back. Well, I think that. Oh my goodness! Sorry, my eye got all itchy. I think that we can all agree that unity,
unity.
Unity.
helping people feel,
Important.
helping people know that they are loved,
Yes.
Yeah.
helping people feel.
It's that
They're
connection, unity, connection that we've tried to talk about a lot, that we all
Yeah.
have.
Yeah.
Well, and finding your own self-worth, because you can't, what's that saying? Like, you can't draw from a bucket, an empty bucket or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, you can't
Yeah.
show
you
someone
can't
else they're
share
important if you
something
don't
that
feel
you
important.
have.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually.
Yeah. You gotta have unity within yourself.
There was something that I saw, a guy that I don't know, an entrepreneur or something like that, and he said, I won't hire somebody if they're not comfortable working on themselves first.
Well.
So, like, one of his main
I wonder
questions.
what he asks them to ensure that.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I mean, there's got to be a navigated HR question in there somewhere that doesn't.
How do you
Create
feel
some
about your
issues.
self-worth?
I don't know. I think you could easily ask the question of, like, what do you do daily to perfect yourself? Like, that's an easy question. Like,
Is
what
it?
do you?
What do you do daily to perfect yourself?
Hi, that Nate does a lot for himself.
I mean,
Yeah, Nate's actually one of the
I
He's
do.
good at it.
I
well,
do a
that's
lot.
that question too, but not me.
I'm
I'm
I
like
couldn't answer.
I do.
No,
I
no,
do.
happy if I can get out of bed and get rolling.
I journal every day, and I do every day when I wake up. The first thing I do not get on social media. I am on my phone, but I do not get on social media. But I do get on a thing I'm paying for called Masterclass, and it's just a series of classes and directed by some really influential business people, some authors, celebrities that have experienced some that have experience in certain categories of mental health, business process, whole bunch of stuff, and it's one of the best things I've ever done, and it gives me an opportunity. And I drive a lot too, so I try to, in between taking phone calls when I'm driving, if I have the opportunity, I'll put on a book and I'll just listen to a book. So I do try to do a lot of stuff. I feel like for me personally, in order to be better, I have to do something to challenge myself mentally. I cannot just sit. I cannot just, there's a reason on my phone I have I've mentioned this before, I have a timer on social media. So the moment I hit that timer, I don't know what the password is. I don't know how to turn it off. So once I hit an hour for every day, that's the max I get. And most of the days, as she would probably argue, but I don't hit that. I don't hit the hour.
I don't see that. You're
but just I don't know. Sometimes it's always why are you on your phone? I've not been on my phone all day. So anyway, I just feel like I've got to have something more to organize my time. So 3:00, 3:15 every day. First thing I do is about 45 minutes of that.
AM.
Yeah.
and the news. Watches the news.
I do turn the news on. Yeah. So
the sun's not even awake.
yeah, no, I
It
know.
will be up for hours still.
For several hours right now. So, but and then I'm usually off to work by 5:30. So, yeah, that's my routine. That's my way to try to just improve myself. So, I mean, if I balance between, or I teeter-totter between wanting to go get my PhD and not. One, I love the education side of that. I love it. I almost went to law school about
For those of your high school friends, or
5 or 6 years ago. I debated about ASU Law School, and then went away from that. And then we talked about I can go get my PhD in human resource and do that. And then I was like, nah, I'll just work, because I don't want to pay $100,000 to do that anyways. It's ridiculous, but I just love learning. So
Awesome.
yeah. So I would challenge anybody that listens, watches, find something that challenges your ability to learn.
Mm-hmm.
It is, for me, it's therapeutic, but I think the more opportunities I've got some great book recommendations that help you connect from an emotional standpoint, that will also help you learn life lessons. Incredible stuff that are really good for helping the kids and being a better parent. There's a book by Andy Andrews called Just Jones. Incredible book. It's not super long. It's a super easy read, and it's a story. It's a story about an individual that helps people that are dealing with life's perspective of challenge. Like, why did this happen to me? Okay, well, did it happen to you, or was this actually? Maybe it's the perspective that you needed. You didn't need to just sit in the wallows of what happened, but you needed the perspective of why it happened. And one of the best books that I've ever read. I've read it multiple times. I love it. And it's stuff that just kind of challenges you to be better. So anyway, I don't know how that turned into that, but I think it's a good way to end it.
Yeah.
So with that, thanks for sticking with us. Sorry that it's been kind of crazy. We're getting back on a better schedule and a cadence of how we're doing this. But we really do appreciate everybody sticking with us and wanting to somehow listen to us talk. So just remember, go find a way to help somebody, help them be better, and remember that they're important, and find a way to lift somebody up. Like, share, comment, and we will talk to you all next time.
This has been Lift Me Up. We hope you've enjoyed the show. If you did, make sure to like, rate, review, and subscribe so more people get the content. We can't wait to be back for the next show. But in the meantime, find us on Facebook and Instagram at liftmeup.podcast and the website at liftmeuptalks.online.